if it is 7:30 everywhere, we gotta wait for Paul to give us the green light.
Is Billy Cato here?
No.
No, he wasn't at the last one either.
No, right.
I think he's off.
His term expired, but he's still on until he's replaced.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Still on?
all right, so we're live, so
Until
we'll be
he's
quiet.
replaced.
Okay.
I think he's on.
We're live?
We're live.
Okay.
Looking for you.
I'm going to unmute, Mr. Chairman.
All right, according to the timestamp on the screen in the bottom right corner that we all look at, in person at least anyway, saying at 7:30, we'll go ahead and we'll move forward with the meeting. So I'd like to welcome everybody to the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for tonight. And before I read the normal greeting for everyone, I will move forward first with reading the notice about electronic meetings. Until further notice, meetings of the Skokie Zoning Board of Appeals will be held electronically, with a majority of the ZBA members participating via remote access in order to comply with the State of Illinois stay-at-home order and pursuant to Village Code concerning electronic participation. Members of the public who wish to comment as to an item on the published legal notice must submit their statement or question in writing to the village manager's office no later than noon on the day of the scheduled meeting, and all properly submitted statements or questions will be presented and read during the relevant portion of the meeting. Written comments may be submitted by email to citizencomments, that's one word, at skokie.org, or by mail to the Village of Skokie, Village Manager's Office, 5127 Oakton Street, Skokie, Illinois, 60077. The meeting may also be viewed on Skokie Vision cable channels number 17, which is Comcast, or number 25, which is RCN, or via the village website. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and we'll welcome everybody to this meeting of the Village of Skokie Zoning Board of Appeals. The Zoning Board of Appeals is created by the statutes of the state of Illinois and by the ordinances of the Village of Skokie for the purpose of granting proper case relief from the strict terms of our zoning ordinances. The decision of this board to either grant or deny relief will be based upon the evidence presented to it and how that evidence is related to the standards for granting relief. All persons who have an interest in a case, either as a petitioner or as a member of the public, either supporting or opposing the petition, or as an independent witness, will be given a chance to speak on the record and to express his or her points of view. The Zoning Board of Appeals is not a court of law, and therefore we do not follow the strict rules of evidence. However, this hearing will be conducted in such a manner as to hear only competent evidence or statements. Questions as to procedure, interpretation, and of the admissibility of statements or evidence will be ruled upon by Corporation Counsel Tyler Kobilski, and his legal decisions will be binding upon this board. Certain cases require a covenant running with the land. This will be prepared and recorded by the Village of Skokie Legal Department, and this is done at the petitioner's expense. Whether or not a covenant is required is a determination to be made by the Corporation Counsel at the conclusion of each individual case. If a covenant running with the land is required, it cannot or will not be prepared until our court reporter has returned to the Zoning Board of Appeals a transcript of these proceedings. The Village of Skokie will notify each petitioner when the covenant has been prepared and is ready for signature. No building permits or certificates of occupancy can be issued until the covenant is signed by the petitioner. Should a petition for variation be denied, or should a covenant not be required, the Board of Trustees will authorize a refund of any required fees. Should it be necessary for the petitioner to request a continuance due to lack of preparation, a case continuation fee of 1/2 of the original application fee is due prior to the rehearing date. This request must be made before any testimony begins. All petitioners must receive a vote of the majority of the zoning board present in order to decide any matter under consideration. Our full complement is 9 members. However, I believe tonight's complement is still 8. 8 members, okay. So that makes 5 votes necessary to make a determination on a petition. Okay. And with that being said, we do have two cases tonight. At first, the first case we'll hear is 2021-03Z, 9425 Harding Avenue, which will be presented by Commissioner Shaw. And then we have case number 2021-02Z, 8630 Keeler Avenue, which will be presented by Commissioner Kirkpatrick. And I'll ask Corporation Counsel, in both of these cases, Tyler, has proper notice been served and notarized?
Yes, notice is proper and correct for both cases.
Great, all right, thank you, Corporation Counsel. All right, well, before we move forward with hearing the 2021-03Z, we do have in our packet the minutes from our last meeting, which was on April 7th, in which we only heard the one case, 2021-01Z, 8524 Keeler, which was approved unanimously, 8-0. And we also started to hear 2021-02Z, but it was continued on to tonight's agenda. So if everybody's had a chance to look at the meetings from the prior, the minutes from the prior meeting, the board, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes as they are.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for the April 7th meeting.
Great, Commissioner Jacobson, thank you very much. Do I hear a second to approve the minutes from the prior meeting?
I'll second it. Dave Salovey.
Thank you, Commissioner Salovey. Everybody in favor of the minutes to be approved as they are, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, anybody say nay? No, okay, great, thank you. Thank you, minutes are approved. Thank you as always, Marlene. Okay. Okay. All right then, so we'll go ahead and we will move forward with our first case tonight that's on the agenda, which is 2021-03Z, 9425 Harding Avenue. And in this case, Commissioner Shaw is presenting it. So, Mike, if you're ready.
Thank you, Brian.
Floor is yours.
Case number 2021-03Z, 9425 Harding Avenue. Raj and Sonia Menon, on behalf of Trista Kerr, architect, request the variation in order to construct a first floor addition resulting in the continuation of the existing 3.96 foot south side yard rather than 6 foot minimum as required by section 118-124-6A of the zoning chapter of the Skokie Village Code in R1 single family district. Now we'll go with this petitioner statement here, and I think it's about like 7 questioner here. I think he has a response. So petitioner statement number 1, there is a limitation on the use of the property due to physical, topographical and geologic features. Response. The existing garage is located 3.96 feet from the south property line. The owner intends to enlarge the attached garage to create an interior entry to the home from the garage, which currently does not exist. To do so, the new addition to the garage must extend to the existing south wall in its current location to maintain size required for the 2 cars. The interior entry will improve safety and provide protection from extreme weather elements. Number 2, without a variance, there can be no reasonable use of the property. Response. If we meet the zoning requirement of 6 foot side yard setback, the garage will no longer fit 2 cars. Number 3, the request is not based solely on economic reason. Response. The improvement is based on enhanced security features and ability to maintain the width of the 2-car garage as it exists today. Number 4, the property owner did not create the necessity for the variance. Response. The location of the current non-conforming side yard was present when the owner purchased the home. Number 5, the request is the minimum variance necessary to allow reasonable use of the property. Response. The length of the variance request is 6'3" to meet the west wall of the existing home. If it does not meet the front wall along the existing south wall, the garage will not be wide enough to accommodate 2 cars. Number 6, the request will not be injurious to the public health, safety, or welfare. Response: the existing condition has never been an issue of a public health, safety, or welfare. Matching the location of the wall will not create such. Number 7, the subject site possesses one or more unique characteristics generally not applicable to similarly situated property. Response: typically, an attached garage has an entry from the garage to the home from the garage, hence the word attached. In this case, one goal of the home addition is to create a properly sized 2-car garage with a door to the interior. The extension to the garage uses space under an existing roof area and allows us to limit the building area on the site while improving safety. Now, I also like to read here Forestry Division report and Community Development report. I think because I think also there is a suggestion made by our staff. So, Forestry Division, tree protection will be required for all trees on a site and in a parkway throughout the project. If any trees will be removed, a tree removal permit is required. Community Development Department. Overall, staff is generally supportive of the petitioner request to construct the addition. Staff found the paperwork on a microfilm that appears to show a variation was approved in 1947 that allows the residence to be constructed with 4-foot side yard. An addition was added on the north side of the lot with the confirming 6.11-foot side yard at a later date. Staff is supportive of the petitioner request because the first floor addition with 3.96-foot side yard is only 6.25 feet long to line up with the front wall of the house. The garage is only 18.45 feet wide and is barely 2-car wide. Giving the garage a little more depth, 6.25 feet, and continuing the same width is reasonable request. The addition is only on the first floor and not on the second floor. The addition in the rear will meet all other zoning required.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you so much, Mike. All right, now that Commissioner Shaw has presented the case, we'll go ahead and we'll talk with the petitioners. Hi, good evening, everybody. Do we have the petitioners for 2021-03Z available?
That's me, Krista Kerr. I'm the architect.
Okay, hi, Trista. Could you, again, could you please tell us your name and spell it so we have it for the record?
Trista, Trista. Last name is Kerr, Kerr.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Are you going to be presenting your request on behalf of the petitioners?
Yes,
Okay.
I mean, in the petitioning statement, I think those were, the homeowners are putting an addition on the back of the house, a 1-story addition, and as a part of that, they would like to improve the garage as the project to make it more an interior entry from the garage and to make the house look a little more consistent across the front as well.
Okay, great. Something I misplaced myself, if I may. I should have done this before you began your testimony, but do you affirm that the testimony you were about to give or have given up to this point is true and correct to the best of your knowledge or belief? Could you please answer in the affirmative?
Yes, I will.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, please continue.
It's the location of the existing garage. There's nothing that we could change about that. But if we were to reduce the size of that and meet the side yard requirement, we wouldn't be able to use the garage at all because it wouldn't be wide enough to get 2 cars into. Okay. So we're sort of held at that edge in order to make this 6-foot extension basically of the garage
Okay.
forward towards the street.
Okay. right, great.
And it all exists under there's an existing roof overhang, and we will just be building underneath that overhang. So we're not changing anything above that.
Okay. All right, very good. Well, anything else you'd like to say at this point in time, or, because if not, I'll let Commissioner Shah give his impressions on your case.
No, I'd like to hear what you have to say.
All right, great. Mike, you there?
Thank you, Brian. The petitioner has stated pretty much in the statement, they like to have a two-car garage with the entrance from the garage. Currently, they have an existing garage. It's located 3.96 foot from the south property line, but they does not have any entry from the garage to home. Now, if they meet the zoning requirement of the 6 foot yard setback, then garage will not have a room for 2 cars. So basically, they stated everything here, but I wanted to ask them a couple questions here. There was mentioned earlier when I was reading the forestry revision report. Are you removing any tree?
I don't believe we are in that situation.
Okay, just for your knowledge, if you are removing any tree, then a removal permit required,
Of course.
Also, in case if we approve your variation, it will be with the condition. And let me read the condition, see if it is okay with you. The first floor addition resulting in the continuation of the 3.96 foot south side yard will be limited to approximately 6.25 feet in length, so that it will be in line with the existing west wall of the house. So
Yes.
I'm sure our knowledgeable staff may be mentioned to you before.
Yes, it will be aligned with the west side of the house.
Okay, so Brian, that's all is from my end, and if anyone else has any question or comment, back to you, Brian. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mike. Well, as Commissioner Shah mentioned, is there anybody else that has any questions for the petitioner or Trista Kerr, the architect? No? No? Seems like it must be a pretty open and shut case. Okay, very good. Anything you'd like to end up with, Trista?
No, I appreciate you considering the situation. I feel that we're trying to improve the home. We're not making it anything more dangerous, and we aren't making a huge. It's not a excessive addition of what we're doing. We're just trying to make use of an existing house and make it look like it's always been there. I don't like it when things sort of look separate, like a new addition. We're trying to incorporate the entire house. So thank you for your consideration.
Yeah, not a problem. And considering that, the condition of approval is limiting the south side yard to that approximately 6.25 foot in length, we're not exactly talking a big ask here, so,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, well, if there's any other comments or questions for the petitioner, then the chair will entertain a motion.
Thank you, Brian. Motion to grant a variance. Mr. Chairman, I propose the following in the granting of variance to petitioner as follows. That Raj and Sonia Menon, on behalf of Trista Kerr, is the owner of the lot described in the case 2021-03Z for the property located at 9425 Harding Avenue, Skokie, Cook County, Illinois. That said, a lot is platted lot of record and is habited by single family on the east-west. The determination has been made in which the petitioner request is consistent with majority of the finding of fact as stated in the Village of Skokie zoning chapter. I therefore propose that variance be granted to the petitioner for giving failure to comply with the requirement of the zoning ordinance of the Village of Skokie as amended as to side yard requirement. That the petitioner be granted the variance to Raj and Sonia Menon on behalf of Trista Kerr Architect, request the variation in order to construct a first floor addition resulting in the continuation of the existing 3.96 foot south side yard rather than 6 foot minimum as required by 118-124-6A of the zoning chapter of the Skokie Village Code in R1 single family district. With condition, the first floor addition resulting in the continuation of the 3.96 foot south side yard to be limited to approximately 6.25 feet in length so that it will be in line with the existing west wall of the house. That all other codes and ordinance of the village of Skokie shall be fully and strictly complied with.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Shah. So we have a motion to approve with the condition that he stated into the record. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Perlin makes the second. Very good. Richard, okay. The chair will go ahead and call the roll then. Commissioner Salovey?
Aye.
All right, thank you, David. Commissioner Arden?
Aye.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sean. Commissioner Kirkpatrick?
Aye.
Thank you, Sharon. Commissioner Jacobson?
Aye.
Okay. Commissioner Gersner?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Commissioner Shah?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, let's see. Commissioner Perlin?
Yes.
Yes. And the chair will vote aye. So in the matter of 20-2103Z, the motion to approve the request is done so unanimously with the condition that was stated into the record. So congratulations, petitioners. And I'll let Corporation Counsel let you know how we move forward from here. Tyler?
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
We will prepare the covenant in line with the land, and probably in about 2 or 3 weeks, it'll be ready for your signature.
Okay.
Okay, great. All right, thank you so much. Good luck on your project.
Thank you very much.
All right, you're very welcome. Take care. Okay, all right, very good. All right, we have that squared away. Now we'll go ahead and we'll move on to our second case for the evening, which was continued from our meeting from last month, which is 2021-02Z, 8630 Keeler Avenue. Petitioners are present for this, or the petitioner's representative?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And before we discuss the matter with you, Commissioner Kirkpatrick is presenting your case tonight. So Sharon, if you're ready to go, the floor is yours.
Sure. Donna Yaha requests a variation in order to construct a first and second floor addition resulting in a 3-foot north side yard rather than a 9-foot minimum as required by section 124(6)B of the zoning chapter of the Skokie Village Code in an R1 single family district. I have the petitioner statement. We are a practicing Jewish Orthodox family. As such, we observe all Jewish holidays and adhere to Orthodox Jewish tradition. As a part of our religious tradition, we observe the tradition of mikvah. Mikvah is the customary practice of immersing ourselves in a spiritual bath. We currently reside in Skokie, and unfortunately there is a limited number of mikvahs available to the public. Over the last couple of years, the public mikvahs have become overly crowded due to an increase in usage by a growing community of Orthodox Jewish families living in Skokie. The increased usage of the public mikvahs by other patrons has resulted in reduced personal privacy as well as unsanitary conditions. Given the current health crisis, COVID-19, my family is more hesitant in using public mikvahs out of an abundance of caution. As a result, we are seeking a side yard variance to build a personal mikvah for my immediate and extended family for private use. I believe that a private mikvah will reduce the possibility of my family contracting COVID-19 as well as potentially spreading it to other members of the community. We are not asking to expand beyond the existing north wall, but rework the north section of the existing house and provide 3 feet distance to the north property line, currently 2.81 feet. In short, we would like to ask for reduction of the required 9-foot north setback to 3 feet. The mikveh would be located in the existing garage adjacent to the sauna and shower where adequate plumbing is available. Ultimately, the garage would be moved to the front along the entire available width in order to fit 2 cars. Therefore, it will be impossible to maintain 2-car garage with the required 9-foot setback. A second-floor addition would then be used as a guest suite for visiting family members who would attend customary Orthodox Jewish gatherings and celebrations and have to stay home overnight due to our religious beliefs. The entire space up to existing edge of the house is necessary to make that happen. Thank you for your consideration, and I sincerely hope you would grant my request. Please let me know if there are any additional steps you require in order for my family to complete the above proposed remodel. Best regards, Jonathan Yahab. Do you want me to read the entire staff report?
You know, why don't you, Sharon? Just because there is some pretty relevant information in there
Okay.
that I think needs to be brought out.
The petitioner has not yet appeared before the Appearance Commission. They will have to get a certificate of appropriateness from the Appearance Commission. The Forestry Division and Community Development Department were the only ones to comment. The Forestry Division, tree protection will be required for all trees on site and in parkway throughout the project. If any trees will be removed, a tree removal permit is required. The Community Development Department. Staff has no objections to petitioner's request to extend the first floor of the existing attached garage approximately 10 feet and continue the 3-foot side yard. In 1991, the Building Division approved an addition to the house that connected the existing residence to the at that time detached garage. The connection made the garage setback non-conforming. This is the reason why the attached garage has such a small setback. Staff feels there will be little or no impact to the neighbors if the first floor is extended by about 10 feet to the east. The existing one-story attached garage is somewhat similar to a detached garage, which is allowed to be set back 3 feet from outside lot line. Staff does object to the petitioner's request to construct a second-floor addition resulting in a 3-foot north side yard. When the house was attached to the garage, in 1991, the building setback became non-conforming. At the time, the required minimum side yard was 6 feet. The setback therefore became 3 feet less than the requirement. The side yard requirement increased on wider lots after the residential building boom in approximately 2003. Wider lots were allowed to have taller roof heights as long as they met the new setback requirement. This change affected the subject site and increased the minimum north side yard from 6 to 9 feet. The proposed second floor addition is now 6 feet less than the minimum required. Staff feels that there is a different impact between a 1-story, 15-foot tall garage, attached or detached, and a 28-foot tall 2-story addition with attic. The petitioner can also feasibly add a 2-story garage addition on the south side of the lot and would most likely meet all setback requirements. Based on the proposed findings of fact, staff recommends that the petitioner's request to construct a first addition resulting in a 3-foot north side yard be approved, and the request to construct a second floor addition resulting in a 3-foot north side yard be denied, subject to the proposed findings of fact.
Okay. All right, very good, Sharon. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And before we talk with the petitioner to discuss their request, I believe there's a document that came in via email that staff has in their possession that is directly affects an individual in this case, somebody that was subject to notice. And I believe Brian Augustine has this letter. And Brian, would you like to read it into the record?
Yeah, on Tuesday, April 27th, an email was sent to Citizen Comments, Matt Brandmeier, and I was carbon copied on the email from Phil Finkel, E-H-I-L, last name Finkel, F-I-N-K-E-L. The email subject statement regarding variance request of neighbor. Dana and Yigal Yahav, excuse me if I mispronounce the names, 8630 Keeler, our neighbors to the south of us. They're requesting a variance to build a 2-story addition 3 feet from the property line bordering our home 8636 Keeler, rather than the 9-foot minimum requirement. Our kitchen eating area is on the first floor facing south and west, and our master bedroom is above it on the second floor. We therefore oppose a 2-story addition built 3 feet from our property line. The construction would be obtrusive, block the sun, and necessitate removing trees that are on the property in that area. As it is, that area doesn't receive a lot of sunlight. Our landscaper says that a 2-story addition that close to us would cause our bushes, flowers, even grass to die. There's plenty of space on the south end of Yahav's home. This proposed addition is certainly not needed due to undue hardship or practicality. Respectfully, Phil and Eileen Finkel, last name Finkel. We've both been Skokie residents since 1960 and built our current home in 1991.
Okay, all right,
That's the only comment that I've received regarding this case.
okay, all right, thank you, Brian. I'll ask staff, Matt, is there anything else that's come in since then?
There's no additional comments.
No additional comments, okay, all right, thank you. Okay, then we'll go ahead now and we'll hear from the petitioners. Who will be presenting the case for the petitioners tonight?
I will do. My name is Jarek Velbus.
Yeah, hi, good evening, sir, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
All right, good. Could you please, again, tell us your name and spell it so that we may have it for the record?
My name is Jarek Velbus, Jarek Wilgus.
Okay, all right, thank you, Jarek. And I'll ask you real quick, do you affirm that the testimony you are about to give is true and correct to the best of your knowledge or belief?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, great, thank you so much. All right, Jarek, go ahead and proceed. Why are we here tonight?
Well, I think Ms. Sharon explained the idea and scope of work, whatever I think the best describes the project. For me, I'd like to just try to explain something which we were not aware, especially about this letter from the neighbor. But we review the staff report and understand that the staff has no objection to grant the request of 3 feet side yard variance for the first floor, but may object to grant the 3-foot side yard variance for the second floor addition. But with that knowledge, we look into the design, as you know that we're trying to be prepared for any cases, and especially for a second floor design again, and we'd like to ask if the staff will consider the granting us or the owner 6-foot setback instead of previously asked 3 feet. This 3 feet extra from the 9-foot setbacks of the addition will allow to maintain desired design with omitting the staircase, sitting area, and reducing the size of the bedrooms, but still will maintain the concept and desire of the owner. In addition to this request, owner would like to ask for permission to build a deck over the north part of the existing garage. The proposed deck will be accessible from both bathroom bedrooms and have a wooden and ornamental guardrails all around the house. So with that is basically to asking you not for 3 feet, but if there's any way you can consider with giving us a permission for 6 feet. This kind of goes back to 2003. I know that the big boom of the large houses and lots and the change of the zoning. So this is what the owner would like to ask.
Okay.
Can I say a few words?
Yeah, is this Mr. Yahav?
I'm Dr. Yahav. John Igal Yahav, you said my name, Jonathan Yahav. First, overall, I want to thank everybody.
Excuse me, doctor, real quick, if I may. I'd like to swear you in too. So do you affirm that the testimony you are about to give is true and correct to the best of your knowledge or belief?
Correct. Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah, please proceed then, doctor. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah. So let's get back, please, if you will, to the statement. I would like to start with our neighbor, then to description why we wish to do what we wish. My neighbor and I are good friends. We respect each other. Last night, I went to the rabbi, so we do it all in peace, because we're both Orthodox, we're both friends, we're both professional. And the statement in the end was by the rabbi who called me that the Finkels will not present themselves in this statement, in this gathering, if you will, and they will accept whatever the village decides. That's just a comment. Now, why did I come to this proposal of the expansion? I'm living here 15 years. We never parked our car in the garage. It's way too narrow. Although there are 3-car garage, one of them, the one that is facing south, is really for a sport car, if you will. Although in my middle life crisis, I didn't buy a sport car. So I can't use it. We use it as a storage. The other 2-car garage, very narrow. You scrape the mirrors while you're going in. So for 15 years in the winter, we are scraping our cars, and we are just in a situation that we literally cannot park in. So we decided to do the following, allowed to do also with the COVID, as you mentioned, because my wife or my children go to the mikveh, or I am going to the mikveh. We wanted to build a mikveh in the first floor, expand the garage farther east so we can park it properly. We did not use parking from the first day we bought the house. To do a parking in the south side of the house, if you see the floor plan, it goes right through the living room, and there is fireplace there. It's the main room of the house where I have events for our community. The mayor of Skokie was here. The governor was here. I do a lot of activities. I can't put the garage there. So what we thought is to extend the garage just 10 feet in the same line of the existing line, which actually will improve the view from the kitchen of our neighbor, because it will be a plain wall. I'm not going to be able to see them in the kitchen because there is a wall there now. Now when I get out of my house to go to my cars, I see their window and I see their kitchen. So they're going to be a wall, and they'll have their privacy more. Regarding sun, I went with my gardener and we watched it and we monitored it, and it's not blocking their sun as they thought. So maybe in the winter when the sunrise and sunset circle is low, perhaps sometimes in the winter, but certainly not in the summer. I will say also the following. The elevation is not major. We're willing to compromise in the second floor and not to make it 3 feet. I'm willing. I'm willing. I want to be in peace with everyone. So we canceled the staircase to go up. We narrowed it down. And I'm sure my neighbor and I will continue to be friends with the new site that we have. More so, he will come himself, I know, in the future and use the mikveh. So it's just a matter of they're maybe getting frustrated. I wasn't here to convey to them precisely the floor plan, but we ironed it. So I think things will be okay. I'm going to change the second floor, fine, no staircase to go upstairs. We're going to make it a little bit narrower. But the first floor, if I don't extend it in 3 foot, I can't use the mikveh, I can't do a car, I can't do anything. It'll stay storage. To have a house like that, to be active in the community of Skokie and not to have garage, it's unfortunate. You follow me? My wife wants to move to Florida because the cars cannot be in the garage. And I want to be a good citizen, I really do. I have office in Skokie, I have many patients from Skokie. I live here for 15 years, utilizing the school. I want to be a good citizen. I want to work together with the city.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Doctor. We appreciate your contribution to the community, and we'll see what we can do moving forward here with your case.
Can I ask one question of the architect?
Yeah, staff, please, go ahead.
With the proposed 6 foot second floor setback, can you verify the proposed height of the addition, please?
Well, we try
Approximately?
to approximately the same height of the building is, so let me just check. Hold on 1 second. Oh, 23 feet to the top of the ridge.
You're muted, Brian.
And you're muted. Hello?
Brian, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry, thank you. Based on the history, staff clearly has no objection to the first floor expanding 3 feet. If the height is going to be that or even a little bit taller, the second floor addition with the 6 foot setback does provide more natural light, which would have met the old code requirements, and I think is a pretty valid compromise. So I don't think staff has any objections to the second floor at 6 feet and the first floor continuing at 3 feet.
Okay. All right, very good. Yeah, thanks, Brian. Thanks for the clarification on that. Brian, if I may too, while I have you on, is everything that that Dr. Yahav and Jarek has mentioned so far in this case, have they presented you with any concrete plans or, you know?
I had a brief discussion with the architect earlier today.
Okay.
I didn't want to bring in any more documents that other people haven't seen.
Okay.
But if the setbacks, if that's what's approved, that's what they're going to have to follow if they feel comfortable with that. And based on what was this, based on what's presented, again, I don't think staff has any objections with those, the 3 foot and then 6 foot.
Okay.
It'll be up to them to design it properly.
Right, okay, certainly. And now, let me ask Corporation Counsel real quick, too, in this matter. As the request is worded currently, it's a variation in order to construct a first and second floor addition resulting in a 3 foot north side yard rather than the 9 foot minimum. So the request, since they're asking for a lesser request on the second floor, this is certainly something that we can move forward with and make a decision on tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. The notice will cover everything that we're discussing.
Okay, so in that case, how the verbiage should be done is probably Donna Yahav requests a variation in order to construct a first floor addition resulting in a 3 foot north side yard and a second floor addition resulting in a 6 foot north side yard rather than the 9 foot minimum.
Correct.
Okay.
Can I convey to you another issue why I want to build the second floor, please?
Yeah, go ahead, Doctor.
Okay. The house, if you look at the floor plan, second floor, the house is very narrow and long. The rooms are very small. My children, thank the Lord, that are growing and coming with their wives and kids. And quite a few times recently, they couldn't come with their kids because they can't sleep with the kids in their room. I don't have large rooms. So I decided to do above the garage 1 or 2 large rooms so they can be with their families. So fine, I'll be happy, to go narrower and not have the staircase emergency downstairs. That's okay, but it's very important if you can keep the 6 foot rather than 9, because then the second floor will be meaningless. It will be like all the other rooms, if you don't mind.
Yeah. All right, very good, Doctor. Yeah, thank you. The one person we haven't heard from yet is the person who's presented the case, and that would be Commissioner Kirkpatrick. We always like to ask the commissioners who present the cases on their personal opinions and views on the case. So, Sharon, is there something you'd like to mention on this?
Yeah. yes, and, you know, looking at the house, really, it was my opinion that the only reason it should be denied would be if the neighbor objected. And that happened, and I respect going to the rabbi and getting the rabbi's decision, and I think that the two neighbors will be bound by that. And so if the neighbor is happy and the staff has no objection, I don't see why we shouldn't do it.
Okay, so then when the motion is made, perhaps, you know, to grant the variation, we'll have to amend it as it shows to note that the second floor addition will have a 6-foot setback rather than the 3-foot. So, okay, anything else? Any other questions for the petitioner? Any comments that anybody else would like to make? No? Is there anything that, Jarek, is there anything you'd like to close up with, or Dr. Yahav?
I think Doctor explained the case very well. I think the need is pretty simple, and I understand that we kind of understand the situation very well.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like just something. I really would. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Doctor. We can hear
Okay,
you.
I just want to tell you the following. We moved, my wife Donna and I moved about 15, 16 years ago for the school system of one of my child. And since then, we decided to move because we also wanted to help the community, Jewish or not Jewish. And we had many events, and the Skokie village were always very accommodating. The golf course were accommodating. We truly feel like a family here. So my neighbor and I will continue to be friends. We'll continue to be with the rabbis, going sing everybody. And so I think that compromise by me and them would work well. And I truly want to appreciate to everyone who participated here. That's all.
Okay, all right, thank you, Doctor. I see and I have it in front of me, the letter from your neighbors, the Finkels, that Brian Augustine read into the record. And I understand, Doctor, how you've kind of patched things up with them, and, you know, everything is copacetic, et cetera. The only thing that's unfortunate is that they're not here themselves to actually, give weight to everything that you've mentioned about what their feelings and their agreements are in this situation. That's it.
Brian, I think that was the rabbi's decision that they not come. Is that correct?
Correct.
It was.
It's not the rabbi decision. No, forgive me. Let me be precise.
Okay.
We have the same common rabbi, and we both had to compromise. My compromise was that I'll make it narrower and go to 6 foot, and he said whatever the board agreed, I will be happy with, no problem.
Okay.
And the rabbi accepted this, and I accepted it. That's all.
Okay, very, very good. You are under oath in saying that, so.
Of course. You can, I would never. What goes around comes around. That's my rule. I'm not going to do something that is a lie. I don't work like that.
Okay, very good, Doctor. In that case, Doctor, that gives me great comfort in you being very.
Brian, this just
very
may be a system of jurisprudence that you're not familiar with, but in the Orthodox community, the rabbi really is the last word.
Got it. All right. Thanks for enlightening me, Sharon. I appreciate that. Okay, is there anything else that anybody would like to ask of the petitioners, or any final comments? If not, then the board will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I propose the following in the granting of a variance to the petitioner as follows. That Donna Yahov is the owner of the lot described in case number 2021-02Z for the property located at 8630 Keeler, Skokie, Cook County, Illinois. That said lot is a plotted lot of record and is abutted by single-family dwellings on the north and south. That a determination has been made in which the petitioner's request is consistent with the majority of the findings of fact as stated in the Village of Skokie zoning chapter. I therefore propose that a variance be granted to the petitioner for giving failure to comply with the requirements of the zoning ordinance of the Village Skokie as amended as to side yard requirement. that the petitioner be granted the variance to construct a first floor addition resulting in a 3-foot north side yard rather than the 9-foot minimum, and a second floor resulting in a 6-foot north side yard rather than the 9-foot minimum as required by section 118-124B of the zoning chapter of the Skokie Village Code in an R1 single-family residence, that all other codes and ordinances of the Village of Skokie shall be fully and strictly complied with.
Wonderful, nice job, Sharon. Okay, great. We have a motion to approve the amended request. So is there a second for this?
Second.
Commissioner Gersner seconds. All right, very good. Okay, and that's it. There's nothing else with this. So the chair will go ahead and call the roll. Commissioner Perlin.
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Shaw. Hello, Mike.
You're on mute, Mike.
You're on mute.
Yes.
I didn't hear him.
Yes.
Okay, all right, good. Thank you, Mike. I heard you that time. Okay. Commissioner Gersner?
Aye.
All right, Commissioner Jacobson?
Aye.
Okay. Commissioner Kirkpatrick?
Aye.
Commissioner Arden?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Sean. And Commissioner Salovey?
Yes.
All right, thank you, David. And the chair will vote aye. Okay, so in the case of 2021-02Z8630 Keeler, the request for the variation, the amended variation, has been approved unanimously. So, Corporation Counsel, what does the petitioner need to know from here on out?
Yes, like the last petitioner, we will prepare the covenant running with the land, and it should be ready in about 2 to 3 weeks for the property owner's signature.
Okay, great. All right, thank you so much. All right, thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, and let's continue work as a one big family in this village of Skokie. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you so much, Doctor. Good luck. Good luck with your project. Jarek, I guess you and staff will be commiserating with each other from here on out a little bit too, in order to get this all nailed down.
Yes, sir.
So, okay, very good. Thank you so much. All right, again, good luck with your project.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so that is it for the evening. Boy, I gotta fix it. Okay. We unfortunately don't have a case on, or we don't have a second meeting on May 19th, so that means our next meeting won't be until June, what is it? I don't have a calendar in front of me. Said, June 2nd, okay. June 2nd, okay.
Yeah.
Brian, does it look like we'll have a meeting on June 2nd? Will there be any cases?
Not to my knowledge, but I think the deadline was today. Sometimes if we can squeeze somebody in, but not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge. Okay. Well, so we'll know. You'll send out an email if whether or not there's a first case in June or not.
Correct.
Okay, great. That being said, I believe that this is going to be the last meeting for our longtime vice chair, Alan Gersner, who, Alan is, I think this is it, huh?
This is it. If I show you around the house here, it's all boxes right now, getting ready for the movers to come on the 18th. So,
Well,
Enjoy Las Vegas.
Yeah, right. Alan, I'll miss you.
I'll miss everybody too. It's we've lived in Skokie for 37 years. We raised our kids here. It's going to be real hard to leave, but we're going out there to be closer to the grandkids, all 5 of them, and my son and daughter-in-law and my daughter and son-in-law, who live 15 minutes from each other out in Southern California. So we'll be a little over 3.5 hour drive away from them. So not close enough to be there when that they want us to babysit in 10 minutes, but close enough that we can be there by noon.
Well, that's great, Alan. I know you're looking forward to being with your family out there. Just be careful when you're crossing Death Valley there on the drive to California.
Well, we're actually going, we're driving through Colorado and down through Utah and into Las Vegas. So we're coming from the north, and then down.
Yeah.
It's we leave on the 1st of June.
Right.
My last day at work here is going to be the 31st. So, and we just had to cancel the parade.
Yeah.
Which I have been involved with for 30 years now. So yeah, it's we have deep roots in the community, and I hope to make a lot of friends out in Nevada. That will be a lot of fun. I've had a couple people say that I should run for office out there because I have all this experience. But I don't think my wife is really into me doing this again while she's retired out there. So, but it's going to be the next chapter in our life. We're looking forward to it. We've got a beautiful new home out in Sun City Anthem in Henderson, Nevada, which is just south of the Las Vegas airport, about 15 minutes south of the airport, which is now the Harry Reid Airport.
So, Alan, you still be working for Apple there, or you just retire?
Yeah, I will be working. I'm not sure in what capacity yet. I've been talking to one of the stores out in Summerlin to transfer over there. So I want to work for another 2 years before I retire fully.
Well, thank you for your service to the community. You know, we will be missed, and good luck to you. You know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
And tell Lillian too, good luck.
I will. I will. We're going to miss everybody. I'm going to miss everybody on the zoning board. It's been over a decade on the zoning board for me. So, yeah, it's tough, and it's coming real quick now. You know, when I first announced, I said, "Oh, it's going to be a year and a half, maybe 2 years," and now it's 2 weeks. So
yeah. Well, I look to my left here, and the seat that you usually sat at, with your MacBook being flipped open. I would always commence the meeting when I saw the time on your MacBook go to 7:30. So, and I miss your counsel and your good judgment, and bringing up matters that people don't normally see, which has always been very beneficial to the board as a whole. So I'll miss you, buddy. So,
well, we'll keep in touch.
All right, very good.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Alan. All right. Well, on that note, if anything else anybody else would like to say, it's pretty hard to follow that one up. So, if not, then this meeting of the Village of Skokie Zoning Board of Appeals is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for